Welcome into the Gridiron Now studios. I'm Amanda Borges here with Frank Frangie. Frank, let's talk Georgia. Why did they struggle so much offensively?
Well, look, they missed Nick Chubb. That's the main thing, Amanda. When you don't have Nick Chubb, your whole team changes, right? I thought emotionally they looked like they didn't have it. They're not a great passing team. Grayson Lambert played great early on, but has been just okay lately. Don't forget this, too. Missouri's really good on defense. Say what you want about Missouri's offense. They're playing a true freshman. They're not very good offensively. But Missouri can play defense. Florida had a tough time there. Georgia had a tough time at home against them. So I think it's a combination of things. Lambert is limited. I think that's part of it. They missed Chubb, not just physically. I thought they missed him emotionally. I thought they missed him on the sideline. You could tell Nick Chubb was missing. And I think Georgia's going to struggle on offense the rest of the way.
Well, speaking of Nick Chubb, can Sony Michel pick up the slack with Chubb being out?
I think Sony Michel's a good running back. He's a physical guy. Here's what he doesn't give you. He doesn't give you that 80-yarder. He doesn't give you that 75-yarder. Yeah, I know he's had some long runs, and he's broken some tackles in those long runs. But you know with Chubb, that 70 yards, kind of like Leonard Fournette, Dalvin Cook at Florida State. You get a hunch that 70 or 80-yarder is coming. The other thing is, I don't think people are as afraid of him. When Florida played against LSU, they were afraid to blitz. They were afraid to pressure because they didn't want Fournette to beat them on a long run. I think people play Georgia the same way. Without Chubb, I don't think so.
Well, how do you see Georgia's chances in the SEC East?
Well, obviously, they've got to win. They went out, they're okay. They went out, they win it because that means they will beat Florida. I think the Florida game is a tough game for them all of a sudden. Florida's very good on defense and really good against a limited passer. That's what Grayson Lambert's been. But the good thing if you're Georgia is you win. You still control your destiny in the East. That's why that Missouri game was so important. It was ugly. It was gross. It was 9-6, but they found a way to win it, and that means now they go into the off week. They can catch their breath. They catch their breath over the disappointing losses. They catch their breath with regard to the loss to Chubb. Relax a little bit and get ready for the biggest game of the year, like it always is when Florida and Georgia play.
People are asking about Mark Richt's job status. Is he on the hot seat?
You know, if they lose to Florida, once again, people are going to say, Mark Richt, wonderful guy, wonderful recruiter, represents the program well, terrific football coach, but again, they didn't get over the hump. That's the way the Georgia people feel. Last year's not a year Florida should have hammered you, and they did. This isn't a year the Gators should finish ahead of you because you were on schedule and they were not. So I think that's a gigantic game for Mark Richt. I don't think he's going to get fired no matter what happens. I really don't, unless they lose out, which I don't think they're going to. But I think that Florida game is gigantic for Richt.
Huge game. Looking forward to it.
Huge game it is.
All right, that's a wrap for us. For more on the SEC, check out gridironnow.com. We'll see you next time.